I'd like to talk about a couple of the interactions you had with Ms. Ryder and her daughter on July 14th. Is that okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
I'd like to talk about the first time you saw them. You testified that around 12, you saw a red Chevy truck pull up to Calkins Campground.
Yeah, it was pretty loud.
Certainly, it was loud because the motor was loud,
Yeah, I think so.
and it was loud because the music was loud.
Yes, Disney music, I heard.
But even over the sound of the motor and the music, you could hear Ms. Ryder and her daughter fighting inside the car.
Yeah, like I said, it was about the music station.
I'm not actually asking you why they were fighting, Ms. Lee, just that Ms. Ryder and her daughter were fighting, and they were.
They were just having an argument.
Now, you saw Ms. Ryder and her daughter a little bit later, at around 2:30, is that correct?
Yeah, it looked like they were starting the trail.
And at that point, Ms. Ryder was a little bit ahead of her daughter.
Yeah, it looked like Jordan really wanted to get started.
Yes, certainly, she did want to get started because she turned around and yelled at her daughter to hurry up.
Well, Parker was behind her, so she had to project her voice.
So she yelled at Parker at 2:30.
Yeah.
Now, a little bit later, you testified you saw Ms. Ryder and her daughter cross the bridge back to Calkins Campground. Is that correct?
Yes, that was around 5:45.
And you testified that you were sitting here
Yeah, looking for the koi fish.
and that they were crossing right there.
Yes.
But Ms. Lee, right in between you were trees.
Yeah, I mean, there were a few trees, but I could still see the bridge.
Well, so many trees that it obscured your view of Parker.
Well, she was mostly hidden by trees, but I'm pretty sure it was Parker.
You're pretty sure, but you're not certain that you saw Parker cross the bridge.
I'm pretty sure it was Parker.
And I'd like to talk about why you're pretty sure. You didn't see the person who crossed the bridge's gender.
Not particularly, no.
You didn't see that person's age.
No, not particularly.
And Ms. Lee, you didn't see that person's face, did you?
Like I said, they were mostly hidden by trees, but I'm pretty sure that was Parker.
So after not being able to identify any physical features of that person, you're still pretty sure it was Parker?
Like I said, even though she was mostly hidden by trees, I'm pretty sure it was Parker.
All right, Ms. Lee, I only have one more question for you. After the weekend of July 14th, you were called into the police station to do an identification of Jordan Ryder.
Yeah, actually I was. I thought it would be like a lineup, but it wasn't.
Well, you got to the police station,
Yeah, I want to help out.
and while you were there, the detective questioned you.
He just asked me a couple of questions.
Well, he questioned you pretty extensively, is that correct?
Not really. He asked me a few questions and then asked me for a witness statement.
And you told him, during that questioning, everything you thought was relevant to the case.
Yeah, I told him everything, yeah.
And of course, you'd have no reason to lie to the detective, is that correct?
No, I wouldn't.
Thank you, Ms. Lee. I have no further questions.
Redirect? No redirect, Your Honor. May Ms. Lee be